Yep. Okay, guys. Yeah. So, yeah, good evening, everyone, and very warm welcome to our webinar series on Power BI. So, thank you all for joining with us today. So, first, allow me to introduce who we are and what we do at VectorETech. So, we are a dynamic and customized training platform dedicated to offering a diverse array of software training programs. So, and each session is like carefully tailored to meet the unique needs of our participants. So, whether through a personalized one-on-one training or specialized courses designed specially for you. And today's webinar is a part of our special promotional series for Vector eTech to ensure you never miss out on such fantastic opportunities. So please contact with us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. So please follow us on these social media platforms to stay updated on our latest products and services, so which we frequently showcase. So these platforms are also your go-to resource for communicating directly with us for more information. Okay, so I'll be sharing the links with you guys. So can you please take a moment and follow these pages? Yeah, sorry guys. So I had shared our social media platforms link. Just take a moment to follow us. Yeah. So additionally, so if you are an expert in a particular tool or programming language, so we would be thrilled to welcome you to our team as a faculty member. So join us in our mission to spread knowledge and empower the community through education. So, and additionally, if you are looking to advance your career in data engineering or to transition your career towards data engineering, so we are also providing one data engineering master training program. So, wherein you will be exposed or will be taught with all these topics. So, we'll cover dimensional modeling, Azure Data Factory, Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Snowflake, dbt Cloud, Azure Databricks, Azure Key Vault, and in-depth Power BI. Okay, if you are interested in this program, please reach out to us so to discuss more on this. So as the course, so we are offering this for 25K. So to all the people who are joining these webinars, and we also have some good discounts that are coming in our pocket. So please reach out to us, and yeah, feel free to ask more questions about this, and we'll be sharing the course structure with you. Okay. And now, so coming to our today's webinar. So yeah, we are thrilled to welcome Pawan Sai to our event today, a renowned senior data analyst with deep expertise in Power BI. So Pawan is not only highly skilled at analyzing complex data sets, but also excels in transforming data into actionable insights through his mastery of Power BI. So with a solid background in data analytics and a keen eye for detail, Pawan's work enables organizations to make informed decisions based on robust data-driven evidences. So his dedication to his field and his visibility to simplify complex data sets for a wide range of audiences make him a valuable asset for us. And please join me in welcoming Pawan Sai as he shares his expert knowledge and insights into the world of data analytics. So prepare to explore the transformative power of data with a top tier expert in Power BI. So once again, welcome Pawan Sai and handing over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, you know, VectorETech, and thank you all participants for joining, for taking out time on this, Saturday evening. Okay, and I hope we shall start with the session, and I'll try to share my screen. Okay, so what we shall be discussing is about AI visuals as mentioned. Is my screen visible? Could anyone please confirm?
Yeah, Pawan, it is coming up. Yeah,
Okay,
it's clean.
so okay, there are four important visuals okay, related to AI visuals in Power BI, right? So if you try to understand those AI visuals, you'll be able to like understand data better, and maybe it would help you to further analyze the data in a much better way, right? So those four AI visuals, I'll show it in the Power BI. Let us dive into Power BI. Okay, this is our desktop. If you go to Insert tab, okay, here you'll be able to see multiple visuals, and especially there is AI visuals, mentioned here, right? AI visuals, right? And these are important visuals which could help you out in certain scenarios. We'll discuss what are those scenarios. Or else if you open the drop down, right, here there is the same visuals, you can see it here as well, right? And a few more things to understand is that these AI visuals have certain utility. I'll discuss about each visual, right? So let us start with something called key influencers, where we'll try to understand what is key influencers. Okay, so this key influencers visual, it is a visual which will help you identify the key factors, okay, which is influencing a particular metric, whether it is sales or profit or anything. So you'll be able to find out by analyzing both categorical and continuous data, what are the variables, or what are the different columns, or what is the data which is impacting it more, and where must the user or client must focus on, right? Some use cases where you can utilize it in some customer behavior analysis, where you'll be finding some factors related to customer churn, satisfaction, and other things. Similar to that in sales performance, operational efficiency, and some healthcare outcomes, where you tend to see these things, like utilizing them in key influencers visual. Okay, so we have understood what is it. Let us try to understand it practically. So I'll just click on this, key influencers visual. We need data, right? So we don't have data, right? What you can do is, internally we have some sample data available. You can go to help section, you can take the sample data. You can just load the sample data. You'll be able to load the financials data here, right? So to, to understand the concept, you can just try to take this data set as a practice, and you can try to learn. Okay, we have certain columns. If you go to the data, right, we have certain columns: segment, country, product, right? Different discount bands we have. What is the unit sold? What is the manufacturing price? Sale price, gross sales, right? Discounts, the total sales, right? Cost of goods sold, which is the cost, profit, some date, and other relevant columns, right? We have all the necessary items, and we have month number, month name, and year also, right? We have all the necessary columns to analyze. Now let us go to this particular report view, and we'll try to understand this key influencers visual. So in this visual, if you see this, we have three things, right? What is the metric that we are going to analyze, and what is the thing which we want to explain it by? If you want, you can try, if you have additional columns or much more huge data, you can try to play with expand by also, right? So this is a simple data set. We'll understand what to analyze. For example, I'm a user who is more focusing on the profit of a particular organization. Okay, so what I can do is I can bring something related to profit. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll bring this implicit measure. What is implicit measure? Without making a external measure, or you could say explicit measure, if I drag and drop this particular column directly into that respective field, we call it as implicit measure. So if you just right click on that, you can see it is, we mentioned it, don't summarize, right? Or you can do the sum of profit. Okay, then what can we explain by? So here you can analyze in two ways. Okay, what are those two ways? One is categorical, and one is continuous data, right? So categorical, you can understand, the things like country, segment, product, and all those things. Continuous data, you can understand it may be related to dates, related to other numerical columns, and all those things. For example, if I just bring this categorical data, maybe country, okay, maybe discount band, okay, maybe related to product, right, and maybe related to segment, all these things, if you try to analyze, you see the majorly influenced thing, maybe it is relevant to segment, you can see for this, if the segment is government, the average of of profit increases by some particular 91.62k. Okay. Yes, Mamta, do you have any query? Okay, maybe by mistake. So here we can understand multiple columns. It will try to analyze and it will try to understand what is influencing the total profit, what is helping to increase and what is helping to decrease. If you see for increment, only this particular government segment, it has some influence on the profit. But if you see the decrement, you have other things, right? Suppose you have this particular segment is enterprise, the average sum of profit decreases by this much, right? Like this, it will show the influence of whatever you are mentioning, and it will choose the respective or relevant column which is truly making influence. Okay, so the backend, there are some algorithms which are running behind in order to identify it. So in like, if you are just like curious, you can go through the respective machine learning algorithms which are running behind by through some Google search. But again, these are how key influencers are impacting the data, right? And if you want to understand the top segments, the value of that particular sum of profit, it is showing the different segmentation. What are the different various range of levels, and what is the population, or is the count of different items according to that. Okay, so you must be able to understand what is the respective useful uh, you could say category in that for our analysis. If you click on format, we have this simple format. Size and style, you can just try to deal with this particular visual size and style here. Okay, in this size and position, and here you can understand, like, adjust the padding. These are some basic like formatting things. I can skip it. Suppose you want border, you can put the border. If you want shadow, you can bring the shadow like this. If you want background, if you want to change the color, suppose if you want to change it to some gray color, you can see that color has changed to gray. Like this, you can make some formatting changes. If you want title, you can mention a title as well. You can just click here and edit your title. If you don't want, you can turn it off, right? You can edit your title here as well in the text box, right? Next, in analysis, whether our data is continuous or categorical, like, it will show us, right? So by default it is continuous, but again, we can, like, turning off, it removes that particular key influencers. Sometimes if at all you don't see this, make sure that it is turned on here. Okay, and if you want counts also, then you can just mention that, so it will just try to understand the counts as well. In the bottom, if you see, whether you want to sort by impact or whether you want to sort by count, you can just make sure that you can turn it on here accordingly, right? You can just turn it on here. And what is the count type, whether it is relative or absolute, you can decide. And what are the top segments? These top segments, if you want, you can just turn it on there, right? Otherwise, you can turn it off. That will be not appearing. Okay. Next thing is, you have something called bubble visual colors. So these colors which you are able to see, you can customize it, right? It is very straightforward and easily understandable. Different colors in this particular visual, you'll be able to customize accordingly, right? Gray color visual or blue color, respective elements, you can customize it. Again, when it comes to chart, okay, this is the default color which we have. Suppose if you want to change the color, you can change the color. You can see how it changes, right? And if you want to change the color of reference line also, you can change. Suppose I want it in the blue color, you can change that color actually. Okay. And also, if you want to see only show that values that are influencers, if you click on that, it will show only those columns which are influencing. Okay, whether for increment or decrement, it will show only those columns. Here, since there is only little data, so it will show all the respective columns which are influencing. But when you use that huge data sets, it will work more effectively, right? So this is about this key influencers when you use this particular categorical data. Suppose I'll remove this categorical data. What I'll do is I'll bring some numerical data. For example, I'll bring total sales, right? Sum of sales. I'll bring something called maybe unit sold. I'll bring this, total cost. I'll bring few things like total average discount. I'll do it. Sum of discount doesn't make sense, right? So we can take average discount. like this, you can just bring multiple columns which could make sense, right? Suppose you bring your sale price, no influencers found. Let me click on this top segments also. Okay, so this profit metric, you just click on this don't summarize, then you'll be able to get little more insight so that you can understand what is happening with profit. So suppose if you want to understand average profit related thing, you can see this aggregation will influence. So whatever metric you use, try to not to summarize. Other things you better summarize so that you get appropriate values here. Now let us understand this, what is happening here. Okay. So if you see this, if some of the sales goes up to this particular level, okay, then it average profit would increase by this much. If cost goes down by this much, our profit increases by this much, right? If cost increases, our profit would increase, right? So this is the amount how it would increase for this particular amount. Like that, if sale price goes up, our profit also would increase by this much, right? So similarly, you can see the impact here. For what? For all the sum of sales, for cost, for if discount is provided more than this particular amount, then also it is predicted that this particular amount of profit would increase, right? Similarly, for decrease also, if you check, it will try to analyze and make give you some conditions where it is impacting the data. And if you see here, for average of profit and based upon sale price, we have a scatter plot and the trend line, or you could say a kind of a regression line where you could understand how it is varying, right? So this is how key influencers would help you based upon how the data is influencing the major, or you could say target metric, depending on your requirements. See, if I close this, you can see it won't be appearing again, right? So if I could just try to see the top segments, how that profit and population count is impacting, right? Again, if I click on increase, you can see that, right? This is about key influencers visual. We'll try to move ahead and try to understand few more visuals ahead in the AI related visuals, right? So we can name it as something called key influencers. Okay, so I hope we understood about the key influencers visual. Let us move ahead and understand one more AI visual called as decomposition tree, right? So what is this used for? It is a hierarchical visualization which will break down a particular metric into contributing factors step by step. Okay, it supports that manual exploration depending on our requirement, and also some AI driven insights. I'll show you where it splits according to the data. Some of the use cases would be what to analyze the root cause, what is happening based upon the kind of sales which is done, to analyze some performance insights, customer segmentation, as well as to find some operational efficiency, right? If at all break down cost increases by department, then how the other factors are influenced. So this decomposition tree, it is a hierarchical visualization. Okay, I'll just take a new page. I'll try to make a decomposition tree. Okay, so here what we shall do is we shall try to like bring that AI visual. Here you can bring from here also. I'll bring that AI visual, and this is our decomposition tree. By the outside blueprint as well, you can understand how it varies, right? What you can do is you need to give an analyze metric where suppose that I'll bring the sum of sales. I want to understand the net sales. Okay, so you can write a measure. What I'll do is I'll try to write a measure. Suppose total sales is equal to sum of sales, right? Next, let us create one more measure. Suppose total cost is equal to financial COGS. Okay, suppose what we shall do is we shall try to understand. Okay, so suppose we are trying to analyze the sales, right? You can bring the total sales measure as well. It will work the same. What you can do is in explain by, you can introduce all the different columns based upon which you want to create a hierarchical order to decompose the values and see further, how the values are varying. For example, if I want to see the total sales based upon the country, I can put it in explain by. After country, what are the different segments? Maybe in that particular segments, what are the products which are being sold? And after the products, they based upon different discount bands, what is the amount of sales being done? Like this, I can create a hierarchy. Now, how can you see it here? You can click on this plus icon, which is present. Now you'll see two things. Okay, first thing is high value and low value. These two values are, are created by the help of a visual, and these four things are the columns which we provided in this particular explain by, right? If you see this, these are these four columns which are mentioned by me, right? Next thing, if I just click on high value, it will show me what is the highest sales being done, where in which segment it is being done. You can see government, in government segment total sales are high. Again, if I click on plus icon, if I just click on high value, it will choose the next particular thing, which is discount band, right? So you can see that low discount band has more sales, right? Obviously, if there are uh, like where there is less discount, their sales would have increased, right? Again, if you click on high value, you can see the country wise, right? If you want only in a particular order, then what you can do is you can just close this and you can just choose that particular order. Suppose I want in country basis, you can choose the country basis. Suppose again, if I want a segment, right, product, and then you can choose the respective discount bands. If you see here, there are different products, right? Here there are 5 countries, here there are 5 segments, here there are 6 products, and there are 3 discount bands, right? So you can, if at all there are more than 10 or 15 things, maybe hierarchical, here you'll be able to see a slider, okay, where you can slide and see it. Here you don't have such slider, you can, so that you can understand its direct influence. Okay, next thing is what you can understand is this decomposition tree, it will help you to eh, showcase the insights like dynamically as well. Even it will be influenced by other visuals as well. For example, let me take a slicer. Okay, suppose that I want to maybe see it based upon a year. Okay, if I just bring that year column here, and if I just format, I'll make it a vertical list. I have only 2 years, right? If I click on 2013, you see the order has changed, right? If I just click on 2014, the orders have changed. Again, if you, instead of year, suppose that you want to bring a product, okay, what I'll do is I'll just remove this, I'll bring this product. Suppose I'll select a product called Amarilla. You see what happens, there are no discounts available in that particular, for that particular product. If I just select this thing, okay, so no discount bands are appearing, right? Maybe some this discount bands are not relevant to that, maybe, right? But again, as a whole, you'll be able to see that because it is a categorization. Okay, you must understand how data is behaving based upon the respective thing. Like here, what I mean to mention is, as you interact with the different visuals, your data will be sliced and diced accordingly. Okay, so this is something called decomposition tree, where you'll try to find the details in hierarchical way, and you can understand how it is being influenced accordingly. When it comes to formatting things, here you have in these two things, I hope you are familiar. In analysis, there is something called enable AA splits. So here either you can choose that absolute or relative values. If you turn it off, what happens is usually whatever you use to get that high value and low value rate, you will not be able to see those because it is enabled by this particular AA splits here, right? This AA splits will help you to get those high and low values. Next thing, you understand this tree, right? How this particular density is present, whether it is, if you want to keep it sparse, the space will increase, or if you want to keep it dense, it will shrink, right? And the default action, if you want to collapse or highlight all those things, if you want, you can choose that. Suppose if I select this particular product, it will show me this directly, right? Suppose if I filter and maybe filter based upon other things, right? It will necessarily change the way it represents. Okay, I'll select this particular thing. These are some tree settings, and this connectors, whatever you are able to see, you can change its color. Suppose if I change the color, you can see the connectors, whatever it is there, these connectors and these connectors, its color would change. Unselected lines color, if you want to change, you can change it. Maybe if you want to put black, you can see unselected would change to black, right? And these are some connectors and tree settings. You have bars, right? So those bars you can scale it, you can bring, make the manual values to maximize it or minimize it. And if you want to change that positive, but bar colors also you can change. Suppose if I want to change it to a different color, maybe some orange color only. You see, bars it can change. Background you can change. Background, if you keep it black, you see the like empty values, it is represented by black color, right? Like this, you can just play with the colors. There are some categorical labels where you can just adjust the font and size of it here. And values, whatever the values represented, you can change the font, color, display units, all those. Suppose you want to keep it in millions, you can see the values are now represented in millions, right? You can just change it from here. Again, headers, you can deal with the title and other things. Subtitles also you can make and create some more, utilize more. You have some conditional formatting which you can opt for total sales. Suppose you want data bar color, and if you just you can give that conditional sales where you can just keep the gradient color. Suppose if you keep the gradient color, you can see higher sales will have darker color, lower sales will have the lighter color, right? So this is a gradient color. Suppose you want to change the color, maybe orange. So you can see what happens, right? If I just, you can just, you can enter a value for minimum and maximum. Again, it would respectively change. Okay, here I just chosen this particular thing, right? Total here, since we already have that respective, thing drilled down, like it will not allow us, but you can try to make some conditional formatting if at all required, right? So in this way, you can try to play with this particular decomposition tree, right? So far, do anyone have any queries? Anyone with respect to these two visuals, key influencers and decomposition tree? Okay, if no, we'll move ahead and understand
Yeah,
the
how
two.
to identify the KPIs for any data set?
How to understand the KPIs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can understand usually KPIs are nothing but key performance indicators, right? So when you observe the data, you must understand, okay, what does the business do about? Okay, so the key performance indicators vary from business, or you could say sector to sector, organization to organization, even domain to domain, everything it varies. Suppose the total sales, it may be the indicator for all the things, right? But a hospital could generate a revenue on different way, in a different way, and a e-commerce store could generate a revenue by different way, right? Hospital would generate revenue by from the patients by giving services. E-commerce store would get the revenue by selling products. But again, you must understand what are the things that influence that particular revenue based upon certain factors, based upon the things which are done by the business, right? So it may be like multiple things, whether it depends on what you are trying to analyze, whether you are trying to analyze the profit or sales, or the important things which are key values for the organization, where it would help with some actionable or insight, or I could say informed decisions to the top management, where they could help, where it could help their business to grow. They are those key performance indicators. For me, if at all I'm more focused about increasing the revenue, then I would see how my cost could be reduced, or how my profit could be increased, how discounts are influencing the products at different locations, right? How my different branches are performing, what changes could be made accordingly. So all those things influence the key performance indicator. Each metric, when you deal with DAX, making writing a simple formula, it is fine. but you must understand how it is influencing the data. Okay, did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it is a
Okay.
case of a hospital, because it's a very good data set you referred. So in that case, like only the patient diagnostic and
Okay,
the
so
services can be considered as a KPI.
okay, I'll just show you, like, you can use GPT. I'll just to
Okay.
quickly show you how to,
Yeah, no issues, no issues.
so you
Yeah.
can understand how to get that. You can just mention me some key performance indicators, okay, related to hospital, or you could say healthcare data, right? Okay,
Yes.
you just mentioned it. You see what it does. First is what is patient satisfaction rate, what is hospital readmission rates, what are the safety indicators, average length of stay, how many days the patients are admitted, what are clinical outcomes, what is bed occupancy rate, what is average wait time for them. Like, these are very key metrics. Station to staff to patient ratio, for how many patients, how much staff is required, whether are they able to manage it or not. There are some financial metrics, right? Like this, you see 20 metrics it has shown. And it depends on data also. If at all your data is, even or uneven, or how you are collecting, what is the source of collection, whether there are any, hidden changes, like many things influence. You must try to understand each metric. Okay, then you'll be able to dive deeper, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays, that some people are talking about the data analytics with the help of generative AI also.
Of course,
So
of
does it
course.
going to work out for the data analyst? For example, if a person want to transition into the data analytics field, so is
See,
it required for him to go for the Gen AI also?
everything
My
will not
question might
transform.
be out of the topic, but
Okay, just to keep it simple, what I can tell is, technology is a good aid, or I could say add-on tool, which could, help the people ease their life, right? Earlier, if you understand, these, I could say, many, you could say, bio-related machines, or all those equipments were not there. For example, you take ECG, or anything which are related to, everything which produces data, right? Directly or indirectly, of course the equipment is related to mechanical device, but again they'll also it generates the data, right? And anything
it
where,
generates more data.
it generates more data, and that is what quite, important for each and everything. But again, you understand, like technology, if at all humans are able to utilize in positive way, this generative AI, or to suppose tomorrow some new AI could come, where they'll some you can call it some other name, any name, okay?
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's
if
possible.
people are, if people are, few, prior to now, few years ago, no one knows what AI is, right? Now, since it came into picture, and since many tools came into picture, and things, data is being,
Theoretically, it was there during my engineering days. I'm talking
theoretic
about 2004, 2005.
okay,
But
theoretically it was
implementation
even,
wise,
uh,
that was
so
only
it
with
is
the help of prolog programming was used.
even
But now with
internet,
Python.
yes, yes, even internet, mobiles, everything was there in 2004 also. But you see the, level of usage and the way of,
Frequency is different.
uh, so data production, it can change life and world, drastically. So everything, either you, if you don't update yourself, then there is no way to grow.
Will be
Okay,
outdated.
will be outdated. People who know say will, take the opportunities better. Okay, so I hope it helps.
Yeah, does it not impact the security levels of the corporate sector? Because most of
uh,
the organization will not
so
give the access
that
for
is that
these.
is why we have cyber security and all those things, right? So even these days, in, your PCs or mobiles, everything's being, updated, updated continuously. There are some tools which will help your, things, like keep in secured way. For example, these days, even, like cyber crimes, whatever it is happening, organization, or you could say government, is also regulating that, telecom thing. Okay, suppose today, like if you see recent news, TRA is there, right? Telecom Regulation Authority of India. I don't know,
Yes.
but
Yes. Yes.
TRA, what they did is,
Try. Yeah.
try what they did is they sent a regular notice to everyone, every telecom company, that they should ensure that traceability, rules should be followed, which means no OTP other than the genuine platforms could be received to the user. Okay, to make sure that user is protected from that crimes. Okay, such things are being taken place. And if you try to dive it deeper into cybersecurity, you can explore a lot many things which will make you interesting. Okay, from a not from a small company to the large company, these things, technology related things, they are being updated, very rapidly. Right? I hope it
Yes, it's
answered.
required. Yes, it's
Uh,
required. Yeah, that is what
yes.
data privacy is happening.
Data privacy, data security, everything is taking place. I just
Yes.
gave you an example.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. A lot of things. Yeah,
uh,
fine, fine.
so
That's good.
you must be able to like acknowledge it, track it, and take it in a right path.
Yeah, good. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let us get back to our session. We'll discuss about two more visuals. Okay. So which are related to AI visuals. We have discussed about key influencers and decomposition tree. Let us discuss about something called Q&A visual. Okay. This Q&A visual, it means the questions and answers visual, right? You can understand. So here, if you check this, you'll see this message kind of visual. You can click on that, right? And here you see it by default, prepare some basic questions where we can, where there are possibility of asking. You can click on this show all suggestions. It will show you some suggestions what we can use, right? Suppose you want what is the total sales by country. Okay, you can just ask in a normal terms, right? And if you just submit, it will try to analyze it, and it will show me a bar chart, right? And suppose you don't want it, and you want to ask something. Suppose I want something called monthly trend in sales. Okay, just a normal question I'm asking. It is able to plot me a line chart immediately. If you want to convert this particular thing into standard visual, you can just select this. Okay, you can see it is now normal visual, and you can quickly make it, right? And I'll show you some content. Q&A visual, it is a it uses natural language processing, right, to enable the users to query data sets without needing to write a code or anything manually. If you try to ask the question, it will be able to generate the respective visualizations. It dynamically generates charts, graphs, tables, whatever the required things based upon the user's question. For example, what is the average profit margin by region? Which products have the highest sales in this particular quarter? For ad hoc analysis or from trend analysis or KPI tracking, all those things, this particular Q&A visual can help you quickly, right? So for example, I'll just take out one more example related to Q&A visual. Okay, let me do this thing. Suppose I'll just take this particular Q&A visual. I can take it from here also. And here you can see, I'll just type one more thing. Okay, suppose I want some correlation between sales and maybe profit. Okay, so you can see the question might be relevant. If it is relevant, it will show me in this blue color line. If it is not relevant, it will show me in red color line. If it is somewhere between relevant and non-relevant, it will show me in orange color. Okay, if I just hit enter, or you could say submit, you can see it is not, it is just trying to aggregate it. If I mention something like scatter plot, let us see if it is able to plot it. Okay, it is uh, using product in values. Okay, now you see based upon the product, it is able to generate a scatter plot between the sales and the profit, right? So there is some product which could be like, which has more sales and more profit, which is standing out like an anomaly. Right? Again, if you want with something called regression line, let us see if it it is able to draw. No, right? Okay, no problem. What we can do is we can just make it into a standard visual. Right, this is our visual where we made it by Q&A, right? Just by asking a question. If you want to format it, you can format it. Suppose you can just go to format tab. if at all I want to, see some reference line or trend line, if I turn on that, you can see the trend, right? Like this, you can understand how it is related with each other. Can we get recorded link of this session at the end of the meeting? I hope yes. It will be communicated along, for after this session, right? Okay, so this is how you can just ask multiple questions with the Q&A visual. For example, I'll take one more, example for you. Suppose you want, there are some segments, right? Suppose segment wise sales in pie chart. I'm just mentioning the chart as well. You see how quickly it is able to generate a quick pie chart for me, right? With some natural, question that I ask it. Like this, you can make multiple visuals. Okay, so suppose you want to create one more visual. I'll just show you how you can quickly ask multiple things. Suppose I want something related to column chart based on total sales using, you can say by discount band. Okay, something like that. You can see by discount band I'm able to get the column chart, right? I can make it to a normal visual. I can do some formatting things related to, maybe I can turn on the data labels, put some make some better formatting and do other things. So this is how Q&A visuals would help you. I'll try to show you one important thing about Q&A visual where you can teach it. Okay, for example, you click on the settings, you'll be able to see this Q&A setup. You can play with this multiple things. Suppose you can give the synonyms, you can review the questions, teach that particular thing and suggest some questions. If you go to synonyms, for each particular column you can just give some particular name. Suppose if I just, for cogs, I understand this is a cost, right? I can click on add, I can give the name. Okay, how this name helps is by improving to ask the questions which you use it in the particular thing. You can improve Q&A with synonyms and helping the copilot and organization. You can add the synonyms, whatever it is present in your organization, it will be imported. Okay, next thing, as I have added the cogs, cost. Now if I go to the cost, this particular visual, Q&A visual, now if I ask total cost, okay, or if I ask just cost by country, it will just take me that particular total cost values as well, right? So that is how it will just help you to recognize this thing early. Okay, suppose what I'll do is I'll just go here, go to synonyms. If I just remove this cost, okay, now I have removed it, I'm closing it. Okay, I'll remove this thing. Okay, maybe I'll just try to load the visual again. And if I write something cost by country, okay, maybe it is able to learn it very quickly. Okay, but you can see in the bottom there will be always a a small note: content created by AI may be inaccurate, right? Read terms and conditions and use it accordingly. So you must keep this in mind. Don't blindly like don't blindly believe that this values would be very accurate. You must always be ready to value, or you could say validate the data, right? Every report or every visual, whatever that you create, you must always validate. And one more thing is the same thing which I have renamed, or you could say made that particular synonym. You can go to the model tab, right? You can click on this particular column. Here you can see the synonyms, right? Here also you can put a comma and you can just mention that particular thing. So what it does is it will help you to create that particular, like give the multiple synonyms for that column, which can be helpful for you to use in this particular Q&A visual. Okay, so one more thing I would like to tell you. Suppose like you want to make some calculations. Here we have total sales and total cost, right? So what I can do is I can write total sales minus total cost. Okay, you see it will show me the net output, right? Suppose what I'll do is I'll just take this particular total sales here. It is 118.73 million and it is total cost. It is 101.83 million, right? You see the net amount, total sales minus total cost, we'll be able to get this 16.89 million. So like this, if this Q&A visuals, you can do that, calculations as well using the measures that you have created, right? In this way, these particular things or these particular Q&A visuals, it will be helpful.
So this one is like a basics of DAX is also applicable over here in the Q&A, because there are a lot of
Uh,
DAX queries are there. So can we
uh,
do similar kind of, can we get similar kind of results with the help of Q&A also?
you can many times there may be mistakes, but not all DAX could be applicable. Some basic calculations could be possible. Since it is AI, it is also learning. You must be able to teach it. How you teach is here. If you just click on this, you have something called teach Q&A. Okay, so here, suppose you want to find out country wise sales or something. Okay, or you just mention it. So you must try to ask more and more questions so that it could understand. Okay, so the more you question it, the more it will try to understand. And like those complex calculations, it will anyway struggle, but some basic calculations, it will definitely do it correctly. Okay, so that is what I have seen. Complex calculation DAX, once you write those measures here, okay, then you'll be able to utilize it in the Q&A very easily. Otherwise, if I just see basic, if I just give that total profit by country, okay, it will understand that there is a profit column. Okay, I have the country column. It will try to aggregate it and do that respective outcome. If I just something mention called margin, okay, profit margin. Now you see the red mark.
So that column name is not available in the data set, it means.
Profit margin is not there. It does margin can't be defined yet. Try defining some other terms first. So you need to teach it. So you need to mention that particular column or measure or anything.
So you
Then
need to refer, yeah, only it works for the existing column values only. For the new columns, we need to go for the DAX.
you need to go for the DAX and you need to teach it.
Yeah, thank you.
Once you teach it, then it will learn.
That's okay.
Okay. And if you have some data sets which are in Power BI service, in this you can try to select the data set and further you can do some analysis. Suppose I can select this, I can select it, and further, like it does not have any questions, but if at all there are anything which can be brought here for review questions, it can bring that. If you want to suggest some questions, you can suggest here and it will try to reorder your suggested questions and help you better, just like how I have shown you. And there is something called here relationships. If you want to create relationship based upon grammatical things, okay, so you can see preposition, adjective like this based upon some grammatical things, you can create a relationship based upon the grammar. Like you might feel that what is the relevance of it, but again, based upon the subject utility, you can just use this particular linguistic relationships between the data, right? So these are some like settings which could help you out to teach the Q&A visuals better, because it uses that NLP in the backend. Okay. Suppose if you want to learn more, you can you can click over the link here. It will take you to the documentation, and you can just even go through more. Okay. And documentation is very great in Power BI. You can just try to dive deeper and understand many things. I'll show you one.
Could you please show me that documentation once?
Okay. Click on the setup. You can click on learn more about Q&A. Q&A. You can go through that. Okay. I'll just share this link in the Meet chat.
Thank you.
Okay. So one more thing is there is another visual which is called as smart narrative. Okay. The smart narrative we have, the smart narrative visual, it is a driven feature which will automatically generate some textual summaries for our data, right? Whatever the like visuals which we have, it will try to share that insights in a plain language, making the data easier to interpret and share with some stakeholders, right? Users. So it will be helpful in creating different reports. and also you can understand it will help us to create insights and textual summaries and all those things very quickly. Okay, I'll show you how it helps. Okay, so what I'll do is we have made some visuals here, right? So this is our Q&A. These are some visuals which we have made by Q&A, or normally also you can make these visuals. But again, if you click on the smart narrative, okay, so the smart narrative, by if at all you have that, premium license, you will get this, Copilot. For now, we can just click on this custom. So when you click on the custom, you see based upon the visuals which are present in my report, it has created a lot of content which is, helpful insights, right? Manually, if you try to understand, you might, mistake things. Suppose if I just, select one particular thing, you can see values also will change accordingly, dynamically. Now, suppose, there are these, these are some content which is helping me to, provide some good insights. And for example, you need to, like, you can't provide this directly to your, or you cannot mention this thing directly in your report. So what I can do is I can just copy this, take some, chat GPT help. I can just paste it here. What I'll do is I'll mention something like this. Okay. Uh, Please convert these insights into some impactful statements to utilize in reports. Okay. This is some statement which I have mentioned in the bottom. Let us see how it will generate for us. All right. Now you can see it would generate a proper, with proper headings, sales growth overview. Okay. Acceleration in sales, steepest growth phase. What was it? How is the performance by discount band? Right. Like this, it has made some, good points, which can give the client, some brief understanding about how the data, performed. Other things which you manually or which you manually do, that will anyway help, but this is some static data which you can directly mention. And if you want dynamic data, you must leave these things alone, and you can just wherever it is not selected like this with blue line, you can try to type it or edit it. Okay, that is also fine. So this is something called smart narrative, where you can create the narrative automatically with the help of AI. And in the formattings, there are nothing much. You can see there is only size and style and title, which you can edit it. Apart from this, these four visuals, I hope you are able to understand how it has helped us to, drive, or you could say derive some good insights related to our data, right? So this is all for, this is all for today related to AI visuals. Please feel free to ask if there are any queries.
These visuals are available in the desktop version also, free
Yes,
version.
yes. Power
Okay.
BI is free. These are available in the free version itself.
So the
Power
saving
BI,
visualization, the saving
sorry.
the visualizations only we are having one option called as a create PDF. Other than that, anything else we can prepare,
Okay, for
for
exporting.
that yeah, or we need to go for any license version only
Okay, the thing
to get
is,
more formats.
you usually save it in PBIX format. Suppose if
Yeah.
I click
Yes.
on this, you can see this different format. These are different formats. Each has its own utility, and if you want to save it, you can just save it in the name of, I'm saving it in the name of AI visuals. So you're able to save it in the PBIX format. If you want to export it, by default, you can either export in PDF or template. There are no other ways. If at all it is generated in PDF, then you might be able to like create, right? You can see this visuals are being created in a PDF, right? If you
Yeah.
want to convert into Word or any other format, from using this online other tools, you can convert and share it with other people,
Oh, okay. Okay.
right? That is what I understand. Maybe what specific format would you require actually?
Oh, no, no. Just generally, I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So directly it is
Yeah.
not possible. This is commonly used source, right? So either you share PBX or the PDF, or else what you do is you use your license, like who has that pro or premium version. They would be able to generate a link which will be shared with the licensed user. Okay, so it is a web link which could be generated by using Power BI service. Is it fine?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yes. And even if you have license, then you'll be, if you have premium license, then you will be even able to create application also, web application, which could embed multiple reports and can provide it. Yes, Bharat, you can ask your queries.
Thank you so much. So I had a question like, can we publish this on the Power BI on app.powerbi.com? Can we
Yes,
publish
yes,
these results there?
yes. You can go to home. You see the
Mhm.
public option, right? You first of all you need to have the corporate account or institutional account. You can sign in with it. You can publish. I'll save the changes. I'll show you. Suppose by default you'll be having my workspace. Okay. So
Yeah,
these are some
right.
previously published reports. I can just select it. It will be publishing. Okay. I'll just show you how you can see that. So suppose if I just type something called app.powerbi.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it will load this Power BI. Okay, so I have this account. I can click on this. Once once my report is successfully published, I can close that.
Sorry, Pawan, for interrupting. Okay, hello
Okay.
guys. If anyone is in need of training, data analytics or master data engineering and any training, we are providing trainings as well, and we are providing with real time projects. And we as a community, we welcome you as a speaker as well. If you have a good knowledge in any subject, you can act as a speaker to our community. And if you wanted to take any trainings, you can happily join as our trainings. We teach the real time project trainings as well. Thank you, Pawan. Please continue. You can reach out to us. I'm messaging my number. Please reach out to me. We'll let you know remaining details as well. Thank you. Thank you, Pawan. Please continue.
Sure. Thank you. And here we can see the AI visuals which we have published a report, and a report would be published along with the data set. The data set, it is called as semantic model. Earlier it is called as data set, but before few months Power BI felt that okay, it is not
Yeah,
appropriate to use
right.
that data set name, then they have renamed it to semantic model. So this would contain our financials data and this would contain our reports. If you click on that, you'll be able to see the multiple pages which we have created just like this. Right,
So
Bharat?
my question is, say, for example, if you as an organization have got a pro license, right, a professional
Yes.
license for Power BI, so do you have got access to any additional features in AI, or is it the same that you just covered?
Okay, so as a pro license, what you can do is to help you out. Let me show you. You can understand the licensing part, what access would you get and what not. Okay, suppose you have this pro Power BI pricing plan. Okay, you can take this help. Okay, so usually if you have normal account, or you can say you can try it for free account will have, will not have much utility. Only you'll be able to get those like only you'll be able to view and do some basic things. But again, if you want to share to the license or published and do some better things, you need to have pro license. The pro license, if you see here, they can
Mm-hmm.
create the reports, they can publish the reports and collaborate. Pro license guys. If you have premium license, then you have all these capabilities to deal with data marts, data flows, right? XML endpoints, advanced AI, all these things you'll be able to get with premium licenses. And if you have that premium Power BI embedded license, then you can consume the Power BI content without a paid per user license also. These are some basic things which where it differs in multiple things, right? Refresh rate and model memory size and storage.
So we
So
have
you
got a
can,
pro license. So that's what I was trying to. Okay, I got the answer for it though. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Any other queries, anyone?
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Pavan. So that was a very wonderful session. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys. So if you want to like learn more on these topics, or if you want to like learn any other new technology or any other software platform, so please do reach out to us. And we do have a master data training program as well. So if you are interested, please reach out to us. So these are all the things that we'll cover in 4.5 months. Okay, so we'll cover dimensional modeling in depth, Azure Data Factory, Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Snowflake, DBT Cloud, Azure Databricks, Key Vault, and Power BI in very depth. So Pavan is going to be the trainer for this Power BI. So since you have gone through this webinar, so you know what you can get from the webinar. Please do reach out to us. So if you want any other information regarding this, yeah, Bharat.
So, if I talk about the projects, right, end-to-end implementation projects, what do you plan to cover in this kind of course?
Yes, yes, we do have such a kind of things, because see, learning just the things doesn't going to help for us. So we also have real-time projects, and we also like do some real-time projects in our course. It's like 4.5 month.
Yeah, Maishra, I'll take this question actually.
Okay.
Yeah, in Bharat, in the sense what projects we are going to cover, right? We are going to show you how to load data from on-premises to the SQL data warehouse and also Snowflake as well. And that pipeline will be the dynamic parameterized pipeline. Okay, we are not going to show you with the single table or single file. We are going to show you with the multiple set of tables. And also this is a kind of a domain-oriented training as well. For this batch, we are going to go with the retail domain. And also we included DBT as well. Here, if we cover all these topics, the jobs covering are data modeler, data integration engineer, data engineer, analytics engineer, data analyst, and so many jobs are covering here. And this is a very good opportunity because at this price, there is no training institution which are providing with a good real-time project. And also we included dimensional modeling. None of the institutions are, most of the institutions are
Yep.
not providing dimensional modeling in their courses.
Sai, could you please elaborate about the course duration, price, and other
Yeah,
things?
we'll definitely let you know. The duration will be 4.5 months, and the training will be weekends only. Weekdays only. And we have two batches are running. One is the morning batch, and also one more is the evening batch. Morning batch will start from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and evening batch will start from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. So yeah, one batch is going. Evening batch is going to start from this Monday onwards, and morning batch is going to start from Thursday onwards. And the pricing
So
will be, if you are going
all
to
the
do the
sessions will be
single payment,
recorded, and we
yeah,
get the lifetime access for the same thing?
yes, yes, we are providing recordings for our students only. We are not selling recordings. Okay, we are getting benefit our student as the recording. So some people are asking just we need only recordings, but we won't provide recordings. But whoever registered for our course, we are providing recordings for them. And the price will be, if you do the full payment, we are happy to give you a discount of 5,000. The course fees will be 25,000. And if you wanted to choose the part payments, then we are giving 30,000. First payment will be the 15K, and next payment after 1 month or 1.5 months, you can do the remaining payment. Any questions? Here we are covering PySpark also, and we have some prerequisites. One is you should good at SQL programming, and it is not necessary to have some programming language, but I can say basic Python is good to have. So you can join the both batches as well. If you wanted to complete the course in fast manner, you can join the morning batch as well as the evening batches as well. I'm happy to provide recordings for the both the classes.
Okay, Sai, thank you so much. But what do we cover in dimensional modeling?
Here we are not covering any tools. Okay, we are
Mhm.
letting you know how to develop from OLTP layer to OLAP layer, how to develop a dimensional modeling from scratch. What are the fact tables and what are the dimension tables? What things we need to consider whenever we are doing the dimensional modeling. There are tools also available. As of now, in this scope, we are not having any tools. But how to do the manual dimensional modeling, we'll show you. And that too, we are loading data likewise only. We'll have the OLTP layer and we'll load data from OLTP layer to the OLAP layer, whatever the dimensions which we generated from our
Mhm.
OLTP layer, right? So we'll showcase our real-time project only. Whatever we will showcase lot of real-time projects, because in our batch, if we have 5 to 10 students, it is not the case, right? Everyone is having the same project. Our resume won't pick likewise.
So
Yeah,
where will you showcase all these, on which platform?
the Google Meet.
Google Meet is your connecting platform. Which platform? AWS or Azure?
Yeah,
That's my
mostly
question.
this is focusing on Azure only. For Snowflake also,
Okay.
we are hosting Azure. Because we in this scope, we are not covering AWS tech stack. Already we mix so many things, and it is a
Mhm.
4.5 months. This is the master cloud data engineering training. If we take the
Mm.
AWS now, then Azure won't come.
So PySpark is included over here.
Yes, PySpark also included, because in Azure Databricks, we are writing PySpark only.
All right. Thank you, Sai. That was very helpful.
Yeah, Bharat, if you are interested, reach out to this number. I already pasted our number here.
Yeah, I did keep a note of it. Thanks.
Yeah. Anyone interested, guys? Any questions, please reach out to us. If you
Yeah,
want
it's a wonderful session for today. Really, I want to congratulate Pawan for his valuable content within a short span of time. Thanks a lot, Pawan.
Thank you, Arif.
If you wanted to be as a speaker also, we are happily welcome you all. Okay, not now, in future also, if you have any time, any 1 day, 1 hour of time, you can give to the college students any webinar kind of thing. It is helpful for our community as well, because as a social service, we are doing all these things.
Yeah, definitely, Sai. Long back I spoke to you regarding this one also. We had a long discussion.
Okay, Arif, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Everything is fine, right? Can we wrap up the session? Thank you, Pawan. Thanks for the session. It's you are a great asset to us. Thanks for
Thank
your
you, Sai.
yeah.
Thank you,
Good day, guys.
and thank you, everyone. Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
he's a dynamic speaker. He's a very wonderful
He's a
speaker.
certified trainer as well. He
No,
has a passion to teach. That's why
But-
most of the trainers, as we
for him,
trainers are
certificate
working
is not required. For him, certificate is not required.
yeah, in general, we VectorETech wanted to hire people who are